y'all doing tonight? Hello all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here. Today we're going to be talking about Need for Speed and the future of Need for Speed, because today we've got some very shocking news, to say the least. Very kind of out of the blue, too. And this is really interesting of a time because they're just riding off the success of Need for Speed Heat. EA and Ghost Games are just riding off the success of Need for Speed Heat, and we learned today that Criterion's actually be taking command of the ship that is the SS Need for Speed. They're taking command of it back after like what, 8 years. Gonna be developing Need for Speed on from here on out. From what I've gathered, they're also going to be continuing the post-launch support for Need for Speed Heat, if I am correct on that. I hope I am. And that really kind of explains why Need for Speed Heat has gotten next to none support for it. So yeah, if you didn't hear, I'll leave a link down to the article down in the description. But basically, EA is restructuring Ghost Games and Criterion Games. Basically, according to them, they really haven't been able to find a lot of talent for their studio in Gothenburg, Sweden. That's where Ghost Games' main headquarters is, and they're reorganizing everything to become under Criterion, one roof, Criterion. And if you don't remember, back in 2013, Criterion was really downsized. Okay, they took about, if I remember correctly, again, I may be wrong on this, 80% of Criterion moved on to Ghost Games. This is around the time Rivals was in development. They really, like, most of Criterion went on to Ghost Games and formed Ghost Games. So in reality, a lot of people, if they were still with Criterion in 2013, they moved over to Ghost Games. They're now just moving back to Criterion. It's really, like, a lot of people are freaking the fuck out about this, but to me, this really just seems like a very long-winded shuffle. That's pretty much what this is. People just being shuffled from Criterion over to Ghost Games. Now all the people from Ghost Games are going back to Criterion, and it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, this is because Ghost Games weren't doing that good, and yada yada yada. It's not really down to that. Need for Speed Heat has done really well. It's successful. Like, the game's successful. The game sold well. From what I've gathered, it sold well, and it reviewed pretty well for a Need for Speed game. So they're riding off the success of that. Like, that's not the reason why. This was probably a bit of a time in the making. This decision was probably started before Heat even came out. So this was probably a long time coming. It's only being announced today. So yeah, Criterion. Like, a lot of people are freaking the fuck out because people think when they hear Ghost Games, they think of Need for Speed 2015 and Heat, and for sadly Payback. They think of customization. They think of Underground-esque games. When they think of Criterion, they think of Hot Pursuit and Most Wanted. And the Most Wanted reboot, despite being a good game, a lot of people didn't like it, and I can understand why. Like, a lot of people are thinking that we're gonna get another Hot Pursuit-esque game with Criterion, and I don't really think so, because when you think about it, most of the people who are going back to Criterion are from Ghost Games. Theoretically, this is pretty much just gonna be Ghost Games 2.0, but under the Criterion banner. The majority of the people are from Ghost Games. The people who were making the decisions for Hot Pursuit and Most Wanted, they're more than likely not there anymore. I don't believe that with Criterion taking charge of the series, that we're really gonna see a difference. I believe that the next Need for Speed game is still probably gonna be customization based, underground street racing based, like Heat, like Payback, and like 2015. I don't think for a second that they're going to go for a Hot Pursuit-esque game. And this is coming from someone who would love to see a Hot Pursuit-esque game. I doubt that's what they're going to do. They're probably going to stick to the formula that's been working, especially with Heat. Like, they know that people like these games. They know that people like games that like 2015 and Heat. Like, they know we want more of it. They know we want, like, a better, improved version of those games. So they're not just gonna quit while they're ahead and just work on them. That's just bad business designing, decision making. That's just bad business decision making. So I know they're not gonna do that. And a lot of people are, like, losing their minds over, like, thinking that we're just gonna get another Hot Pursuit game when you think rationally, that's not probably what we're gonna get. To me, I look at this as a good thing in a way. One thing Ghost is a small studio as it was, and they weren't really able to find a lot of talent in Gothenburg. However, they're all being reorganized under Criterion, which is based in Guildford, and Guildford is actually home to plenty of game studios. Guildford's actually a really good place for game development, especially in the UK, so they could definitely attract a lot more talent to Guildford than they would, say, Sweden. The game needs. It needs more people working on it. It needs more talent. It needs more people with car enthusiast talent behind it. That's really what this game needs. And I'm hoping that here's the thing, with these two studios kind of merging and becoming Criterion again, that's going to mean that there's a lot more heads under one roof, which can be nothing but a good thing because that improves communication and that should improve workflow. So that's kind of my 2 cents on this whole thing. I of course need to talk about it because it is a big deal. I look at it as a positive thing. This could overall be a net negative for the series. I'm looking at it as a positive. I want to, like, Ghost Games has not really been in the best spot for the past couple of years. And that really showed with Heat. I love Heat. It's a great game. I have a lot of fun with it. But as a base, it's a great game. But it lacks a lot of content post-launch. And now seeing this happen, this explains why we haven't been getting any post-launch content for Heat. So yeah, I'm hoping Criterion picks up the mantle with Heat, updates the game regularly, gives us a lot of what we want. Hopefully, like, fixes up the game a bit, makes it a bit less buggy, and just gives us a lot of cool content for Heat. And hopefully with the future of Need for Speed under their command, I'm hoping that the future looks bright for Need for Speed in the series. If Criterion seriously sits down and listens to the community, then we can definitely this can definitely pay off long term. This can definitely be a net positive for the series. Also, I remember a while back, Criterion used to stream on Twitch. They would stream Twitch games and all that. Like, they have a Twitch studio where they can live stream. So them alone being able to live stream like updates and everything like Turn 10 does, then that improves communication. I mean, hell, they have their own Twitter, like, and they tweeted about it, like, right then and there. That's more communication than we usually get with Need for Speed. So again, I'm excited for the future of the series, and I think this is going to be a positive in the long term. Again, I don't believe a lot of what people are scared about is just due to Criterion's past reputation. I don't think but that's a different Criterion. This isn't the Criterion of today, in a way. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are a little less calmed down now. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one, guys.